Welcome to Pete and Hannah's Watch List. I'm your host, Pete Mitchell. I am here for We Interrupt Irregular Programming, our TV podcast. On today's show, we have The Boys, we have House of Dragon, we have Dark Matter as usual, and we have The Acolyte. But we also have a special guest to the show, is the host of What's Next Movie News, AFI Top 100, and is my co-host of this whole channel, and she's here today, Hannah Mitchell.
Hello, people.
Hannah, what an episode. I had to bring you in. House of Dragon, Boys mean so much to you. We're going to start off straight away with House of the Dragon because it's just been released on Australian television. We watch it on Foxtel. It's released in everywhere else in the world with HBO. Fantastic show. We really enjoyed the first season together. Give us your thoughts on the first episode.
Amazing. It was so good to have the show back. It really shows that you need sort of like this big fantasy show to bring people together. It is definitely like the war has begun. They've been building up with the promotional material. They've spent so much money on promotion. No way, Jose. Like, you have cities chanting their banners between the green and the blacks. Even though there is only one right team. When you get into the show, you are definitely gripped because you're like waiting for this moment where they, eventually start. Like, the war is there, but we haven't really pushed over the edge. Yeah, we don't even see Rhaenyra for like the Queen Rhaenyra until we're like at least 10 minutes in. She's mourning the loss of her son, and just like, you're waiting for that moment. You want to see her, but everyone else is like preparing. Like, we need to start doing this. We need to start doing that. So your
boy Damon's like, why? She needs to act right now.
Damon is like, we need to go straight to King's Landing. We need to attack Vhagar. We need to kill Aemond because he's the reason Lucerys is dead. We need to get him. They're all like, Aemond. What we see from the Greens' perspective, Aegon is trying to be king. Right?
Yeah.
And he kind of loves the fact that Aemon is loyal to him and is unhinged and started basically the war. Basically. The others are Otto Hightower, the grandfather, Hand of the King, his mother, and everyone else is kind of...
Well, she's too busy.
Yeah, they're trying to like...
She's too busy getting it on.
Yeah. Which hypocrite Christian Cole is like, no, I wouldn't do that to my cloak after he tarnished it with Rhaenyra. It's all about, like, him and Alicent are, like, behind the scenes doing everything together.
And they've missed the boat, because what they wanted to do was when the king died,
usurp the throne and heal it.
Yeah, and straight away just knocked them out straight away, knocked the dragons out straight away. But they missed the boat by...
They never wanted to, like, because Alicent was like, I want Rhaenyra to bend the knee so everyone can have peace.
Yeah.
It was never going to be like that.
It was supposed to be quick. But because of the loss of the son, we got war now. And so this is going to be a long, drawn-out war. So they're trying to get all these people on side. Aegon saying, no, they will bow to me. I'll use my dragon.
I'll get Vhagar and Aemond to do it.
We've got the biggest dragon. We've got the best dragon. We're going to take everyone out. Yeah. But everyone's trying to cool it, and do slowly build up shippings and take on the serpent snake and all that stuff like that.
And you're starting to see Aegon also, like, he's like becoming the king and he has his own thoughts of how he should run the kingdom, like, give back to the small folk, whatever, be a king. And you have Otto whispering in his hand, which he's been like the hand of the king to many kings, and he's always taken control.
Yeah.
And he knows something with Aegon, he's not going to be able to do that this season. And it's so, it's actually pretty cool. I like that.
Trusting his brother. He's brought his brother onto the council. Then the others don't like that. It is really... it's setting up the story pieces, and then you get the end scene, which is just...
Yeah, it is... So
Aegon's wife warns that the rats are the ones to worry about. We've got to worry about the rats. And we get the final scene. Hannah, you talk about.
So the final scene, I did know going in because I know a lot about the history, especially Targaryen history and stuff.
I don't.
And so this horrible scene is the fact that Rhaenyra comes back after basically finding the remains of Lucerys, whatever she could have found, and says, I want Aemond. So she just wants Aemond gone. She wants Aemond gone off the table. Daemon's like 100%. So he goes kind of into King's Landing undercover, and he finds one of his previous Kingsguard and is chatting him up, and he's like, we need to form a plan. Gets these two guys basically to work together to get Aemond. Their job is to go inside and kill Aemond. Unfortunately, Aemond's very hard to get, and they kind of got spotted. So it was kind of like they needed to immediately get a son for a son.
Yeah.
So what did they find?
They had a little...
Yeah. Aegon and Helena's son, and they unfortunately unalive him.
Well,
that is what
here in the background.
Yes.
You don't actually see it.
You don't see it.
But
Helena leaves with her daughter,
and then goes through the castle. Doesn't know where to go to.
By the way, she goes straight to her mother, who is with Christian Cole.
Go to her listener, and she is just getting, what do you need? Oh, the boy's dead.
Yeah, like
that's what she says.
Because she knew this.
Like she says, the boy's dead.
Yeah, she's in shock. This is not supposed to happen. No one protected her, and craziness.
And that's the end of the episode.
But that was what it's famously known as. It's called Blood and Cheese because the two characters' name are Blood and Cheese, and they're the ones that. Yeah, so when you were like, "Oh, the war has started." Now the war. This is the war because Aegon is going to flip. Yeah. You see that? You have...
I think Alicent was going to flip too.
Alicent, she's going to believe there is no turning back. There is no turning back. There is no, like, a child like that. Yeah, no. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, the other child was taken.
Yeah, but he was a grown man. He was a grown-ass man.
Oh. Still a kid. Anyway, basically...
But this was a little...
The death of two kids. Yeah. I mean, the death of the king, but the death of two kids really made the war. Yeah, it's going to be personal. It's going to be such a powerful season. You see, Rhaenyra is going to also kind of break herself away from Daemon as well because Daemon is like. Because of his actions, it's unhinged. So she starts to break away. She's going to do that later this season, which is going to be interesting to see. Also, just like the Greens are going to become way more unhinged because they've been a little bit holding back. Yeah. And now that this has started, it's going to be really interesting. And Harrenhal getting the Riverlands is going to be the biggest turning point of the season because it's a big point that everyone needs to get. And so whoever takes Harrenhal basically is going to be in the lead of the war. It's great.
I don't really want to know much, but I just want you to tell me one thing. Does Christian Cole end in a violent way?
Let's just say in a way.
Am I going to enjoy it?
Well, all of them are dead. So,
yeah.
I mean,
it's 20 years before.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just say...
No, I can't wait for that.
Fun.
I cannot wait for that. House of the Dragon. Every week now, Hannah will be on the show and reviewing House of the Dragon, Boys, and Acolyte. So... The whole team together every day of the week.
Yeah, I like other weird TV shows. I'm like, all TV's great, but yeah, I have my weird niches.
Before we get on to the boys, you did a little review on the channel a couple of weeks ago about Doctor Who. Just a couple episodes since then. You still enjoying it?
Yeah, so we're on the second last episode. It's the first part of the 2-episode event. And finally the big kind of twist is revealed. And for anyone who doesn't know, don't be afraid that you don't get the twist because it's the whole god, like it's finally we know the one who waits. It refers to basically old, I think 4th Doctor Who. So we're talking about pre-everything. So, it's a big twist. It's really trying to bring back old Whovians as well as new. And, yeah, if you feel like you're watching season 1 again, it's of New Who, it's okay. It feels like that, but with a good polished budget. I'm still interested to see just where Ruby fits into it in the next episode. So, yeah, it's pretty good, though. Pretty great.
Let's get on to the boys. The first 3 episodes dropped on Amazon Prime, and then now we'll get a episode weekly. So we pick up in the new season. Butcher has been told that he's only got 6 months to live. Homelander is standing trial for the murder of a crowd member that threw a plastic bottle at his son. Starlight is got her fans, but she's not calling herself Starlight more. She's calling herself Annie. Yeah. What did you think of the first 3 episodes?
I loved it in a way that, one, I always think that the first episode of the season is going to be the worst for, like, the most shocking thing you're ever going to see is in the first episode. But this one wasn't too bad, whereas, like, I mean, it's the boys. Everything's shocking.
Yeah.
But...
Well, the third episode where Huey's sort of, like, trying to get a bug into a meeting between the vice president and Homelander, and then Homelander can smell Huey, and then he starts using his like the heat ray vision, and then ends up killing an ice
ice capade, and then the rest of them trying to get away, just starts slicing each other with the ice capade. This season is it's really interesting. I love the new character they brought in, which is Sage, because she's going to put a different spanner in the work, because Homelander feels like he's alone and no one's going to challenge him. Like, no one is brave enough to challenge him. And so you have a character like Sage who kind of doesn't really care, and she is the smartest person alive. And so she wants to in some weird way, she wants to help Homelander just to basically play with the universe. She wants to play with the world and see how it reacts, because she has the ideas. She just wants to see them in action.
Well, so Victoria Newman, she's won the vice presidency. Then she's told by the president that they're going to shut down the Supes, and they're just going to have them as TV actors. She hasn't told Homelander this yet.
They basically are.
Yeah.
That's also very much a point in the season. Yeah. You start to see that every save has been very much like it was. Yeah, there were stunt actors involved and everything. Yeah, it's not real.
You get Chase Crawford. He is sleeping with Sage now.
Yeah. The what's
the Deep.
Yeah, the Deep. What's interesting, that's the end of the third episode. Sage also, she kind of, what it seems like, she lobotomized herself so she could basically zone out. Yeah. So it seems that she must have those moments where she just wants to just not.
Act like a human.
Yeah. Because she thinks she's overthinking everything. She knows everything, and it will play with her, and it would be interesting if that's going to be her downfall as well. And also Homelander's, because he's way too invested.
So Sage gets Homelander off the charge, and then also orchestrates...
Oh, no, he was going to go
but
it's more like she
orchestrated the fight between the Starlight's people and Homelander's people, and then they secretly killed a couple of Homelander's people.
So what...
And pinned it on Starlight's people.
Yeah, she basically is telling him, you can be Julius Caesar, because the people will eventually attack each other. Mm-hmm. If you give them the tools, they'll just rebel against each other, and then you can be the savior.
And then she's trying to create her Homelander's son to be like a Luke Skywalker sort of figure, and raise up after his father, because he's actually a pure superhero. He is born of a super.
A God's given. But it's also the fact that the son, Homelander expressed that he wanted to make a better, purer world for his son. But when his son gets kind of the spotlight on him, Homelander doesn't like that. Because he's dealing with a midlife crisis of he's aging, and he does not want to have his power taken away. And it's slowly consuming him to the point where he has split personalities between his kind of love and humanity that he has for his son, and just his blatant narcissistic, absolutely psychotic views of people who are just toys to him and soups to rule the day. It is, and not only that, Butcher and Huey and all that.
Okay, so
they're all
Butcher has been kicked out of the boys because he didn't tell them that he's got 6 months to live.
He also is being a little bit...
But he's also talking to Agent Kessler, who's Jeffrey D. Morgan. He's giving me vibes that he's not actually real. He's actually a ghost.
So he's also seeing his ex-wife as well, and so it seems to be weird because we haven't seen him interact with a lot of other people.
Homelander knows he's got the aura of someone dying. Yeah,
he's dying.
Yeah,
and I love you have his descent. Huey has. His mother comes back into the picture after his father has a stroke, which, wow, some fakes just lying in a bed.
And then Mother is taking over the boys. He's leading. And
Mother's Milk,
he's leading and he's trying to get A-Train to turn on the other soups.
Because A-Train's starting to wanting to actually be a hero because of all the things that have gone wrong. Everyone he knew is against him now, and they're Bot's trying to make him something he's not. Yeah. And he kind of wants, in some way, to be a hero. And then you have Kimiko and Frenchie. Frenchie's dealing with the fact that he is with someone that he unfortunately killed his family, and doesn't know how to deal with that, and is taking drugs, and being free is not messing with him. And Kimiko's trying to deal with her past.
Going to a therapist?
Yeah, she's going to a therapist, and they're just not doing anything for her because she's not willing to go back onto her past, and now the past is being slowly revealed to her.
So, it's been really quiet on the Huey Starlight front as well. So
their relationship, I guess they spent a lot of it in last season, and then this season more focused on Starlight, because Starlight, she's very much taking the activist role. She doesn't want to be Starlight, but will probably she has to then go into it, and it's still odd for her because I think their relationship has to take a back burner because they have to be people first, and their stories are. Yeah.
What did you think of the cameo in this episode? Was it episode 2?
Episode 2, yeah. There was they're filming A-Train's origin movie or something, and his coach is not played by what should be his brother. It's played by Will Ferrell, and it is basically The Blind Side. Am I giving too much Blind Side?
No, I don't think you give enough.
You know what I smell? Oscar.
Yeah. And my favourite part of the first 3 episodes is the new Black Noir. Like, he is hilarious.
Oh my god, yeah! Black Noir was my favourite character of the 7 because he was just silent, did stuff. But now he's
an actor who goes, you need to give me inspiration.
Does he have a playlist?
Yeah.
And everyone's just telling him to shut up because he's supposed to be quiet.
Yeah.
And he's like, what am I supposed to do here? Which is great. It's a good comedic. Everyone in the 7 is very tortured. We're dealing with that. But also this season is really dealing with the fact that the Homelander extremists really are taking over and dealing with that, and it's crazy. They're drawing parallels with real life stuff in this season, which they can, but it is so intense in the show, and it's Boys has always done really well with dealing with the idea of superheroes and the politicalness of it all, and it's so entertaining.
Boys drops every Thursday night in America and Friday mornings in Australia, so we'll continue doing recaps every week. The next show we're going to talk about on this big episode of We Interrupt Regular Programming is Acoylte. Now,
it's the most divisive Star Wars show ever to date since probably The Phantom Menace.
Okay. I'm just going to come out and say this. I like this show. Now, I did not like this episode because it went away from the story and went back to the origins of the 2 girls. So I did not like that. They did not give anything to progress the story. They just went always backwards.
Oh my god, I'm glad I had the same idea.
But this hate that, they have lesbian mothers and all this stuff like that. Come on, get over yourself. It's just a story. It's a made up story. We just need to grow up, right? Just grow up. This show is not that bad. Seriously, I've watched a lot of god awful TV and god awful movies over my years, and this is a really good serviceable show that's telling a story about a long time ago in a planet far, far away. I'm enjoying it. Your thoughts?
I actually enjoy this show too. But what I enjoy mostly is Sol and Orsha's relationship, because I love master and apprentice stuff. It's my favorite thing. Anytime, doesn't matter which time I'm watching it. But yeah, no, I have the same issues with episode 3 where it's showing us the past we already know about because it was just showing us the events they've told us instead of revealing the actual questions we have about the story. Like apparently that the twins basically were gift, and that they in turn the witches used what could have been the Force to birth them, and so that's a lot of people. There's hate and discourse over that because the Anakin is the chosen one, but it's not the first time Star Wars has played along around this, and it shouldn't be that big of a deal because again, these characters don't even exist anymore because they're dead. But we're so far back it shouldn't matter that much. But also like the they're hiding like who actually did stuff to the people to the witches at the end of this episode, and they leave questions on the table, but the show's not finished yet. We're on episode 3. Let it cook. As soon as the season's over, then go back and say everything's wrong. But until it's then, let it tell its story.
I think I might be spoilt by Lost, which was a show that used to go back and tell the past and then go forward and back and forward. Like, personally, I enjoy that type of storytelling, and because the past informs the present, and present informs the future. So no, this was just all back in the past, and we're all seeing this story. And I wanted to see the characters that the first couple of episodes that I was really enjoying. I really wanted that. So that would be my only critique. Like, as Hannah said, let's watch the next 3 episodes, and then we'll come back and say, okay, this is god awful. But I just think I really liked the first episode. I thought that was fantastic, great television. Yeah. And I can see what they're sort of trying to do, and hopefully they get to finish their story.
Yeah, I really care about Sol and Osha. I think they're interesting characters, and the High Republic is a really intense, interesting storyline. They just, people need to just calm down, wait till it's finished, then critique the hell out of Star Wars.
Okay, so they're all the episodes that Hannah's seen. I want to talk to Hannah about a couple of TV shows on Apple TV Plus, and she doesn't really care, but I'm gonna, but. The first one we'll talk about is Presumed Innocent. Now, the first 2 episodes dropped, right? Now, this is... this stars Jake Gyllenhaal, right? Now, this is based on a novel by Scott Thurlow that was turned into a movie starring Harrison Ford, Greta Skarkey, and directed by Alan Pakula. Alan Pakula did All the President's Men.
Yeah, okay.
Right, now... This has been brought to the screen by David E. Kelly. David E. Kelly did Ally McBeal. He did Lincoln Lawyer. Now, Jake Gyllenhaal plays a deputy chief prosecutor. He finds out that his colleague has been brutally murdered, and he has to take over the case because his boss is getting primaried in the challenge for prosecutor or district attorney. And so she... it turns out him and her were having an affair. Now, this is played by Renata Renikovic, and she was the main star of Worst Person in the World, which is one of our favourite movies. It was my championship belt holder from a couple of years ago. She, the chemistry between these two, oh my God, it is just fire. Oh, really? Absolute fire. Ruth Negga, she is the wife of Jake Gyllenhaal, and so she's going through the fact that he's cheated on her. Yeah. And then we get the reveal that he's been charged with the murder because they had a paternity test and he was the father of the unborn baby. Oh. So, and it turns out his boss lost the primary and now he's defending him in court, and now we're getting episode by episode. Oh, okay, yeah. So we've done the first 2 episodes, and so the first 2 episodes dropped, and then each episode drops Wednesdays. Yeah. So, oh my God, I'm just all in. This is just thriller trash, and it is pure, unadulterated sex, thriller, crime, courtroom drama.
Boy, I don't know.
Quadruple. The other show I love to talk about is Dark Matter, and it was sort of like a poignant episode in this one. So, basically, the rundown for this show, Hen, is there's this box that you can get transported into multiple different realities.
Yeah.
And there's these two guys, same fellas, Jason 1, Jason 2. Jason 1 has been kicked off his world by Jason 2.
Oh.
Jason 2's taken over his life and things are sort of happening.
Yeah.
Jason 2 and his Danielle are confronted by police asking them where a friend has been taken. And what happened in the last episode was his friend Ryan found out that Jason was dodgy.
Okay.
And so he locked him off in another world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Danielle confronts Jason too about the vial that she found in his storage locker. Mm-hmm. And this vial lets him travel between the worlds.
Yeah.
And so she thinks he's on drugs, and he says to her, no, I'm testing myself on this drug.
Oh.
So, guinea pig. Jason 1, he's trying to get his way back to Jason 2's world. Jason 1's world, but Jason 2's there. And so he's with Jason 2's girlfriend, Amanda. And so they're going through worlds, and then Amanda says, we need to have a break. Let's go to a world. And then she pitches, and how they go through worlds is they picture what world they want to see. They open the door, and then that world's there.
Okay.
And this world is like, it's scientific. It is, they believe in science. They've found all these remedies for all these things.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect world for
Utopia.
scientists. Yeah, it's perfect world for science. And she says to Jason 1, I'm going to stay. I want you to stay with me. Oh. They're having like this romantic dinner on this like big tower overlooking the city of Chicago. Yeah. He goes, no, I would love to, I'm so stupid that, I just need to get back to my world. So he thinks before he goes back in the door what he wants to see. He's thinking about his wife, and then he goes into this world, and then he finds a world that it's really close but not there, and his son's having a tough time, and he tells his son, I love you. He tells his wife, I love you. And then the next world that he goes in, he's down to his last file. He needs to get this world right. He finds his world. Oh. And he finds that Jason and his wife are in the house together, and then he decides to go get a gun. And then the other Jason goes back to the world, and he goes and gets a gun as well. And so it's a shakedown. And they both know now. So they couldn't get a gun, so he ended up getting a knife and pepper spray. But the other one knows that Jason's in there because he sealed off the box because he didn't want the other Jason to go. Yeah. But then he had to open the box and go and find another Ryan and bring a Ryan in.
Oh, okay.
To,
Yeah.
But I have a feeling where this show's going that Amanda is in a world now that I think the other Ryan has been put in.
Oh, okay.
So I think those two are going to work together to get back and then get rid of the other Jason too. So that's Dark Matter. So I can highly recommend that. It's really good. Hannah just sat there and listened to my googly gook for 5 minutes.
It's a really intriguing show that probably needs to be watched to be believed. Yeah.
It's like the multiverse, but set with just a man and his wife.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's a small story in a big scale world.
What a show. What a show. Lot of TV. It's all coming together because, summer over in the States, so there's a lot of things going on. So it's great to have Hannah on the show. She'll be on the show for the next few weeks while House of Dragon is on. Yeah. And I'm going to love having her company here on We Interrupt Regular Programming, our TV podcast. This week on the channel, we have What's Next, the show where we help you figure out what to watch next, and it's reviewing Inside Out 2 and The Exorcism, which should be fantastic. Movie news this week, Hannah will have her usual clickbait and her movie news and clickbait headlines, and then AFI Top 100. What's the movie this week, Hannah, on AFI Top 100?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It's a lot of movies. Oh no, it's a Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, that's it, right. Yes, we're talking about it. It's Shawshank Redemption week on.
It's Redemption week for 1994.
So that'll be great on the AFI Top 100. We'll have our usual reviews. We'll have our usual blockbuster. We'll have our usual championship belt holder. Heaps of content on the channel. Thanks everyone for watching. That's my lovely co-host Hannah. Long live television, really? So,
Yeah.
like, how good? Yeah.
Team Black for life, baby.
Until we meet again, it's bye for now.
Bye.